hear from our audience. I don't know if anyone else has more, but I have.
Do you want to do the audience questions first? Or?
Sure.
Since they're here.
Could you discuss feelings about the community center RE seniors? Anyone want to try that?
Would you repeat that question?
Could you discuss your feelings about the community center and I guess in particular seniors and how it would be utilized by seniors perhaps, or how it would attract seniors?
I think one of the things we should do is invite the people in the community to this room, because this is a senior center. So for those of you who, think maybe our seniors have a place to go, this is it. And we've got 20 people in this room and it's almost full. So I think we owe it to the seniors in our community to do something different. And, that doesn't mean it should, in my opinion, be exclusive and exclusionary. I think a community center means we have space for everybody, and we have to figure out a way to make that work, because just like we can't pit people against each other from a tax perspective, we can't on the community center either. So how do we build a place that everyone's welcome, has programs for everybody, and really feels like a place that seniors and young people and families are all welcome? That's what we need to do.
Anyone else care to add to that? Thank you. Ryan?
I think, this to me was kind of shocking, because when I was in high school, I used to work in Heritage Village in the activities department. And they have some great programming there, and I set up chairs and tables and sign people in for bus trips and whatnot. But, it was a much bigger facility. It wasn't a huge facility, but it was, it served a lot of different purposes, and I thought it was a tremendous resource, and met some great people there. I think one of the things that a lot of people had a concern with was that the community center was a one-phase project. And I just want to be clear that we had 3 phases in the CIP, and as a councilman, I've supported those 3 phases. I think there was a very narrow focus on phase 1 without considering the project as a 3-phase project. And I think that 3-phase project really had something for everyone. And I hope that, going forward, and whatever the Community Center Commission settles on, we still consider it as a 3-phase project.
Thank you. Everyone else?
Part of the reality is that with $10 million, you really don't do a lot. And that's the unfortunate reality, that we know that there are many, many wonderful ideas, passions that people have, and wonderful things that would add value to our community. But the price tag is going to far exceed what we can do with the GE part of the gift. So it's trusting that whatever that first $10 million is, we'll have a phase 2 and a phase 3 that might address some of those other programs. So, I don't know where the commission is going to end up, but I think that's the key discussion.
Thank you. And another question related to the community center is, what do you think about are you in favor of a community pool? If not, what would you recommend for the GE grant to be spent on? Does anyone want to talk about any of those? Pool, anyone, or?
I'll jump in and answer
Sure.
that, and I'm gonna answer it as a cop-out. I'm gonna say that we are now doing a process that is much better than the process of we're gonna build this and this is what it's gonna be, and take it or leave it. There's now a process to engage people to say, here is the straw man. Take a look at the straw man. Do you like what's in there? Do you not like what's in there? Are there other things that you see? And how many people are on that commission now? There's 12 people, and it's pretty broad-based, and they have an opportunity to really grapple with those questions. Is it a pool? Is it a hockey rink? Is it an arts center? Is it multi-generational? Is it something beyond that? And what are the ideas for those things beyond that? And did we get enough of a response that we can legitimately say, this looks like a cross-representation of the population? We've got seniors represented and middle age and younger people. and the diverse groups. So I'm gonna say that I don't support anything in terms of making those decisions until we have those facts in place. And I think that Pat and the Board of Selectmen were very wise to put a timeout. And I think that we could have taken the plan as it was and put it to referendum and it would have passed. But it would have been one of those things that always would have had the controversy or surrounding it because it was crammed down, or the perception was that it was crammed down. So now there's an ample time for people to have their voices, whether it gets resolved in a month or so, or it needs additional machinations, I don't know. So that's my long-winded response to that.
I'm gonna speak sort of about balance. I think a pool is a critical component to this community, because if you design and build a pool correctly, it can serve all populations. It can serve the senior population, it can serve the school population, it can serve, you know, the mom and pops, it can serve everybody, and you can provide, and not only is it great, you know, exercise, but you have the ability to teach people on a variety of different levels with the pool. Years ago, when I was in Monroe, we built an outdoor pool at Wolf Park, and we built it for everyone. It was the whole design was a zero entry component for, you know, seniors. We also had a big lap area for swim team. We also had the ability to have special needs populations go in there. So I think, you know, if we're talking about something for everyone, an aquatics facility would be ideal for this community. And it can be an enormous asset for, you know, for the future, bringing families in as well. So.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to echo what David just said. When I first heard about it, I thought that the plan is originally put forward, in considering it as a three-phase, the first of a three-phase plan. I thought that would have been something that was served a lot of different populations. And I hope, and I'm not even a swimmer, but I hope that, you know, that's still something that's considered. And I would be very surprised if a pool were deemed too exclusive to a particular population, and then we end up with some other sort of sports facility that's very exclusive to a particular population.
Thanks. So Crips in the blood.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Neil. Final question from the guests. Revenue has come from somewhere in order not to affect